But what should politicians be doing now, and how can INEC conduct a free, fair election in Imo State? We have in the studios AKG Oba Kingsley is an INEC accredited election observer and project director, Imo Advocacy Group. Very warm welcome, Kingsley.
Thank you so much.
Would we say the youths are beginning to take over, really, looking at your youthful nature? I mean, one would have expected a higher level of enlightenment of your peers, you understand, to eschew violence always. But that does not seem to be the case in Imo State.
Well, we are doing something about it. There's a generation in Nigeria that is known for bringing independence.
The Jay-Z generation. That's where you belong?
No, I'm referring to the generation that is known for bringing independence to Nigeria. So our generation is that generation that has that responsibility of bringing good governance. So the youths are taking center stage right now. We're no longer onlookers. We are now confronting the issues that is facing us. So in Imo, we are doing tremendous work, engaging, despite the tough terrain, like you rightly mentioned, talking about the insecurity in the state. We are engaging. We have about 60 ambassadors who are trained, going around the communities, encouraging people to come out and participate in the process, because the true meat in democracy is people's participation.
And those who've been coming out, like the last killings, you know, in Imo State, I can't really recall the name of that local government now.
That should be in Ituboma.
Yeah, Ituboma, where, you know, security officers were gunned down in cold blood and the rest, and the threats, you know, to national cohesion or elections ever holding in Imo State. And I'm sure you saw that video where the governor was warned, oh, if we want to get you, we'll get you, and the rest. How don't you think that this would have affected the psyche, the mentality of the people, and we want them, they may just want to stay away from the polls?
Yeah, I mean, sincerely, it has really affected people's, you know, mindset and thought towards the election. We know that in the southeastern part of Nigeria, there is a high level of voter apathy. So the insecurity in Imo State, I mean, especially with that incident that happened a couple of weeks ago, has contributed to that. In fact, I'll refer you to a qualitative survey that my team carried out in the state, engaging voters across the 27 LGAs. We discovered that about 90% of the people we interacted with identified issues ranging from INEC's credibility and ability to conduct free, fair, credible elections, insecurity, and of course the use of the beavers and the electronic gadgets to guarantee credible elections as the major issues, the major concerns, areas where they have fears. But interestingly, 95% of these persons that were engaged identified insecurity as the major issue. So indeed, that is a major challenge. But the good news, I suppose, is the fact that we have just 3 elections coming up on the 11th of November. That should mean that INEC should have all the necessary manpower to guarantee a successful outing. And of course, the security agencies should have enough personnel as well to deploy to just Imo, Kogi, and Bayelsa. So we are hopeful. I was very delighted when I heard that the military is planning to deploy over 2,000 personnel to Imo State. So I think that with all of this information going around and the understanding that we just have 3 states where these elections will be happening, people should be more encouraged to stay away to not stay away.
Not to stay away.
Exactly, because Imo belongs to Imolites, and the responsibility of building a state or building a nation is the sole priority of the citizens, and the citizens have to rise up irrespective of the situation or whatever challenge that may face them at any point in time.
Okay, thank you. I mean, you said so much about stakeholders, INEC and stakeholders, and coordinating properly. Then there should be proper security of voters, you know, at the polls and the rest. how much confidence do you have in the police and, of course, the military that the renegade, outlawed Biafrans, militants are waging war against?
Well, I must say that I believe that the security agencies have what it takes to curtail these issues. I think that, again, for the fact that we now have, I mean, they can now focus on these 3 states where election will be taking place. I think they should be able to deploy all the necessary facility or whatever equipment they need to ensure that on the election day there's no violence recorded, to ensure that when Imolites or Kogaites or Bayelsas come out to vote on the 11th of November, they are not intimidated, they are not attacked, and of course to guarantee optimally that security of lives and properties are guaranteed on the election day. But again, I also want to talk a little about the candidates. It's also important that these candidates commit to this concept of free, fair, and credible elections, because the major perpetrators, the major motivators of violence on election day, data and statistics has shown that it is mostly candidates, because these candidates mobilize thugs, they mobilize, you know, young people.
And this is a period where they probably may not be able to really resist it because of the asphyxiation presently in the country. You know, a lot of people are below the poverty level. So just any little thing you give them, they want to, you know, go and do the negative thing.
Yeah, exactly. And that is why right now in Imo, we are planning to engage these candidates in a tete-a-tete, and also ensure that they sign a peace accord. So we're hoping to have that conversation. We're going to engage all the major candidates.
But majorly too is the youths and the rest. Money politics is looks as if it's really come to stay. It's all over the world anyway. But the fear is people selling their conscience for a mesh of porridge. Would that secure their future? How do you carry the campaign to them to really sensitize the youths? Because, you know, the stage belongs to them, really.
Yeah, I mean, this also, you know, speaks about what you said at the beginning. I'm a youth. I belong to that community. I understand what that community needs and the issues around that community. So when I come, when I engage the young people, I also have to say that more than 95% of the ambassadors who are, you know, campaigning for free, fair, and credible elections in Imo State are young people. So by engaging these young people and making them the promoters of this free, fair, and credible election agenda, and of course campaigning for people participation in the electoral process, other youths will tag along, and we spread a single message. Yeah, we spread a single message, and the message is love, because we love the state, and as the principal custodians of you know, the state, as the main landlords, like I would say, of the state, because we are the future of the state, we have no other choice than to rise up, you know, ensure that on election day we vote in those who have that capacity to lead the state, and jettison any form of violence, and of course reject vote buying in any form.
All right, thank you so very much, Kingsley Ekejiuba. He's the project coordinator, Imo Advocacy Group. Thanks for coming to
Such a pleasure to be here.
All right.